Hello, my friends and families and all followers that follow my YouTube channel here in John Knows It All. You guys know me from Juan Sábado Todo, which is just a translation of John Knows It All into Spanish, Juan Sábado Todo. Entonces, with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about this gimbal. We're going to do a little review about this gimbal. And this gimbal is the Smart XE. It is the cheapest version that you can buy in this family of gimbals, because this one doesn't even bring the light that goes on top. And I'm going to talk about that light in a second. Let's first talk about the package. Let's see how this package comes, okay? So that gimbal is going to come in here, all right? And as you can see, I took the top portion out, and now I'm opening the box, and then inside the pot, I have foam. I have first a lid on it, a foam lid, and then inside here, I'm gonna have a little cable, which is to charge the gimbal. Yes, the gimbal has an internal battery that you charge up, okay? Because it's gonna do a bunch of functions that you guys are gonna love. It comes with this little cable that you see here. It comes with a little manual that sits right here that you guys will see. That's gonna be on top of this lid. And then it comes with the gimbal on this side. It comes with the gimbal on the big hole, and it comes with the stand, a small stand that I'm going to show you in just a second, on the small side. So that's basically it. We're not going to complicate things, right? We're not going to talk so much about it. That's what it is. So it comes very protective. This actually was shipped to me from a very far distance, okay, to another far distance for me to receive it, okay? And it came in one piece with no problems, okay, and in working order. So the protective coating that it has is more than sufficient for it to travel in the postal services. I think I put this in reverse. Give me 1 second, guys. It goes this way, I think. Nope. Quick tips saving you time. No page fluff. Just the real prize. Here we go. There we go. I knew something was wrong. So I couldn't leave it alone until I got it right? So that's what it does. So as you can see, it has some pinches back here, but it's just simple pinches stuff. Like I said again, this is the cheapest model you can buy. So here we go. Let's go ahead and move on now to the physical component, the gimbal itself. Okay. The first thing is I'm gonna go ahead and reset this gimbal so that it goes back to its natural form by turning it off. I'm gonna hold the power button for about 1 or 2 seconds, and that's it. As you can see, the gimbal kind of collapsed, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the phone. I got this phone here so you guys can see how it goes on it, okay? I'm gonna remove this phone from the gimbal. All right, let's put the phone over here. Let's make sure I don't tilt it and throw it down, a whole floor down. So I hope you guys are loving this. I'm over here, sitting in my balcony, and I'm just enjoying a little bit of the light and the fresh air. And I thought that I will bring something special and different in this presentation of this item. With that being said, this item comes in that box that I just showed you, right? And this is the little stand that I was talking about. Let's go ahead and remove it. I'm gonna go ahead and spin it. I close the legs and I spin it. See? And that goes down here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back because I don't trust myself and I don't want this gimbal to fall from a second story. And let's go ahead and open it up so that I can have balance on it when I set it up against the bottom. All right, so now that we have that, the gimbal right now is in its natural form, right? But it comes in the box. When it comes in the box, it's gonna come like this, like turn. That's the only way it fits in the box. Now, what you need to do when you unbox it is make sure, first of all, that it's not near this button here, because if not, sometimes it gets stuck underneath the button, like a certain area, and when you pull it, it's gonna pull this button completely out. So just make sure that you swerve it a little bit to the side, away from this round button that you see here. All right, and then after you do that, you just wanna go ahead and lift straight up, and that's the way you pop it open. You're gonna have to put a little bit of pressure, just a little bit. So don't think it's gonna break if you open it, okay? It takes a little bit of pressure, and when I say a little bit, I'm talking about a little bit. I'm not saying the kind of pressure that you're gonna do when you're lifting up a 50-pound bag of something. Okay, not that type of pressure. If you're doing that type of pressure, then you're doing it wrong. So don't do it, so you'll break it. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the thing. So now we're gonna go ahead and turn it on by holding this about 2 seconds, the power button on it, that power button that you see that's next to the red button, and we're gonna go ahead and power on the device. When we do that, we see some lights that just went across. You see that? And we got one light that stays on. You see it? All right. That means that the gimbal has now, oh, I forgot to add the phone before I turned it on. So let's turn it off because I want you to see it the way you're gonna do it at home, okay? So I'm gonna turn it off again, and I apologize for that. I don't want to skip any steps. So on this right here, on the holder for the on the clip holder, right, for the phone, you have a name that's there. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe in the video, I don't see it. I don't see it here. I'm not wearing my glasses, so you know what? Let me put on my glasses. Much better this way. All right. So let me see if I can see it here now. No, I don't see it there. But anyway, it has a name in here. You want to make sure that the name is facing upwards. When the gimbal's like this, the name needs to be facing upwards. Okay, that you're able to read it naturally. Okay. Then you want to make sure that you put your phone in the manner that you will record if you was holding it like this with your hand to record yourself. Once you find that, you're gonna go ahead and put it in here, and this clip up here, this piece. Let me show it to you. This piece is gonna go up. See it? See? All right. So what I'm doing when I'm putting it in here, after I find the letters and they're in the right order, upside up, right? That you can read it. Then the phone is in the right order, so I can record myself, right? Or record up and the other way around, right? So I want to push up with it when I'm putting it in here, so that they can fall in place. But when you do that, you want to make sure that you're not leaving any of the buttons. That motorcycle came in at the wrong moment, and I apologize for that. So you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you're putting the phone as close as possible to the buttons, but not keeping those buttons pressed, because if you keep the buttons pressed, what's going to happen is that the phone is going to go either into a programming mode, or it's going to go into the smart AI system that it has, and you don't want to do that, okay? So you want to make sure that you're staying away from pressing those buttons and leaving them pressed there, okay? That's no good. So just take it as close as possible, because you want to try to balance the phone on the arm, basically. But check this out now. So now that we did that, I already showed you the turn on button, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. Watch what's going to happen. I'm going to get that one light, remember that I showed you? You hear a little beep, beep. When it turns on, it goes beep, and it turns on. You saw how the phone is now straight? It did it all by itself. You see that? So you don't have to worry about it being straight when you're setting it up, because the gimbal is off. When you turn it on, the gimbal is going to do the work by itself. You don't have to try to force it or anything, okay? With that being said, we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to rotate the arm so that you see the primary function of this gimbal on that first light, the first white light. All right. So as you can see, I can rotate it by pressing on this button here sideways, either going one way or the other. Okay. It's gonna have a reaction on the turn of the gimbal. The gimbal does not do a 360 turn all around. It doesn't do that. So it'll go like about that far. Watch. And then that's how far it goes, and then it'll go the other way. A 360 in the other direction. So in one direction, it did a 180, and in the other direction, it did a 360. All right. But I mean, it doesn't continue going round and round and round, okay? It did a complete 360, but it stopped at 360. With that being said, then the other function that it has is if you press the button, either up or down, it's gonna do a tilt. Kind of cool, right? Right, people? Is that cool? You like it? All right. So now let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about the buttons that you see on the gimbal. All right. So as you see already, this one is for rotation. This one right here on the side is when you install the app, the application is gonna sync to this gimbal, and you're gonna be able to use the application that's on the phone that's synced through the Bluetooth technology of the device. It's gonna be synced to your phone through Bluetooth. It's gonna be a connection that's gonna be there made so that the gimbal can talk to the phone and the phone can talk to the gimbal. Okay, so this is to control when you're using the buttons to record or to take pictures. If you want the lens to be wide or if you want the lens to be narrow, normal, and then you can make them a little bit wider. And you can do that by just lifting on this or bringing it down or bringing it up. Okay, so that's the first button. The second button, this is the second button. The first one is the one we're doing all the turning, right? Then we got the record button, is to take pictures and also to record video. Okay, to record video. If you want to record video, that's once you have the application installed, or if you haven't installed the application, you can still manually put your phone on record and record. What's the purpose of a gimbal? Besides the fact that you can have everything remote control by controlling these buttons. Well, the purpose of the gimbal is that when you're walking around, you don't want the video to be bouncing back and forth, and all that other stuff. What I'm gonna do is, when I'm teaching you the part about the application, which I'm gonna teach you separately, is I'm gonna do that on my desktop by doing a video where I show you the process of the installation of the application and how you sync it to your gimbal device. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Oh, before anything, people, this piece here I showed you, right? If you want it, let's go ahead and take it off again. If you wanted to put a longer stick on this, you could. You could put a longer stick on this, and now you can take it out of reach. But this gimbal does not come with a remote control for you to then control the functions of the phone. But as you guys know, many smartphones have their own intelligent functions where you can make hand signals or hand movements, and the phone will do certain things for you when you're doing recording. If you didn't know about those things, leave me in the comments, and I'll teach you how to set that up on your phones. With that being said, that has nothing to do with the gimbal. That's something separate. With that being said, then we got the power button, okay? And then we got this rotating wheel here that's for focus. When you're gonna take a picture, if you need to focus it, you can spin this wheel to focus it. That's once you have the application installed on the phone. If the application is not installed on the phone, this function isn't gonna do anything for you, okay? Many other functions here won't do anything for you unless you have synchronized to the gimbal device, okay? With that being said, the next function you can do is you can press the button, the one that you move the gimbal inwards one time. You're gonna see that the little white line moved over one step to the right, and now it's in position number 2 of the function of the gimbal. Now, what does the gimbal do in position number 2? Well, it's gonna rotate the phone vertically. Check that out. You guys liked it? See that? So now the same buttons that were turning the gimbal horizontally are now turning the phone right vertically. So that's for you guys, for you TikTokers and Instagram and stuff like that. That function comes in pretty cool, right? So then let's go ahead and put it back on home. Right. And I'm gonna go ahead and press this button in one more time. Ready? Let's do it together. When we press it in one more time, you can see that the gimbal made a turn and went back to horizontal mode all by itself. But you saw how it went through all the lights and then it went back to light number 1. Okay? Because this gimbal is, like I said, the less expensive one, the cheapest one in the market for this brand, and the other ones that are more expensive offer you more features in those buttons. But this one is the cheapest one, so this is what you get. Now, I want to do something before I move on to anything. I want to say thank you to the person who sent this to me. The person sent it to me so because they bought one and they wanted me to do a review and to teach them how to use it, properly. Okay, so what they did was they bought two of them because they're a fan already for my channel, and they sent me this one. This wasn't provided by the company. This review is not sponsored by anybody. This is just I'm doing this for one of my personal fans. Okay, and I want to say thank you for the Gimbo. I love it. I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. I have it in front of my desk where I work at all day, 24/7, standing right there. That's why I answer my calls, speak to people, and do all that stuff. That's what I'm using this Gimbo for. So, with that being said, I'm going to be doing the other part of this video on the application. It's going to be on my desktop, and I'm going to be teaching you the inner workings of the application. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you loved it and you think you have learned something here today, and you would like to see more videos like this, please let me know. Leave it in your comments. Leave a thumbs up. Like the video so you can share this video with other people like you, similar thinking, that want to learn about gimbals. And not only that, so they can come over to my channel and so you can help my channel grow. Okay, subscribe and turn on the whole notification bell if you would like to continue seeing my content. Remember that here at John Knows It All, I always say Juan Salvador Todo because that's my primary channel. I got music, I got special music requests. I create music for the commercial industry. I create professional commercial videos. I mean, I do it all, people. That's why John knows it all. Anyway, if it has to do with technology, I've been in technology now for, 50? Give me a second. 47 years. 47 years. I know everything there is. I know how to program. I know how to create apps. I know how to do AI, animations, professional video editing, computer networking, MCSC certified. I mean, I do it all. So if you want to learn anything, you can ask me and I'll teach you. All right. You have a good one. Take care.
Hello, my friends, and how you guys doing? So as promised, I said that I will teach you the application process of this Gimbo, and that's what we're doing today. As you see right now, I'm already at the App Store on this Android device that I'm using to go ahead and train you guys. Now, remember, I like to teach from basics to the most profound details of what I'm teaching, so that way you learn and you can become independent, okay? And don't need no one else to bother. You don't need to bother nobody to do your things, okay? So here we're looking at the App Store at this moment, and we're seeing that it has a lot of information. And one of the things that scares people is when they see so much information and are trying to decipher it and don't really understand none of it. So if we look here and we see that the portion of this application, it contains different sections, and we break those sections up into little bites, it's going to become a lot more simple, a lot easier to understand what is it that we're doing. So sit back. I hope you enjoy this. Remember to go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And above everything, go ahead and turn on the all notifications bell. Make sure it gets black so that it has those two squiggly lines. So as you can see, I have pulled out my tools of presentation, and I'm showing that in the search section is where you will begin, and then you will need to type the source that you need of application. In other words, the application that you need that will connect to this gimbal device. As you know from the beginning of the video, I told you that this is the most simplified version of this gimbal device from this family of smart gimbals. Okay, and I want you to know that this is a voiceover over the Spanish version of this video that I did. So I'm basically just looking at what's going on and explaining to you the details of this video. So if at certain points you see me that I get a little confused, or maybe I say it wrong and it's showing something else on the screen, that's the reason why. Okay, so right now, as you can see, I'm writing out the name AOCHUAN, which is the application that works together with this gimbal device to give you what it needs, so it can sync together with your gimbal device. So you want to make sure that when you go ahead and you look for that, then it's going to give you a list. When that list pops out, it's going to give you a list of several of them, because like again I said, that's just the most simplest version of the family. Make sure that you select the one that says Smart XE, because that is the version that this video is teaching you. But in case that you have the Archon app, right, the gimbal, that's the pro version, right, then select that version, because this video that I'm doing will work for all the videos, or basically all the smart devices. It would just be lacking on the extra features that your gimbal device has if it's a different version. As you can see right now on the screen, you have the process of the installation process, which is that big blue button that says install. And this is the place where we want to go ahead and present and get all our focus into. Why? Because when we click on that install button, it's going to run through a process of downloading all the files that are needed to execute on this installation of this application, that is a mobile application that will connect your gimbal device to the software provided by the company. It is a totally free application. You just download it just like you download a game, right? And you install it into your device, and then you just, execute to go ahead and allow it to run on your device. There's gonna be a series of different functionalities that this software is gonna offer that I'm gonna be explaining through this video. And again, what I want you to see what's going on here on this screen. So they're always selling something to you, right? It's called upselling. In every screen that you go in your Android device, right? Or when you go online on the browser and things like that. So don't get distracted by all the stuff that you see that I'm marking right now, right? You don't want to get distracted because then you might lose track of what is it that you're trying to do and accomplish. So all that stuff, just think about all that extra information that's just there right now, occupying space on your phone and on your eyes, is that it's just somebody trying to sell you something else, okay? So you don't want to lose focus from your primary point, which is to click on the installation process and install the application. With that being said, you can see that I'm hovering my mouse right now, and then my mouse has a circle that's right around it. Right now, I am introducing to you the application name, right, and the maker of this application, which is located in the top section, which tells you exactly where you at, because you cannot chart a distance or chart a travel plan if you have no destination, right? So it's always important to understand where you are in the application of your phone, of your Android, and what menu you are in to understand where you're going. And that's going to be something that I'm going to be emphasizing a lot so that you can kind of remember it by heart. It's always important to understand where you at in your application and on what menu you're seeking. Okay? Now, with that being said, you see that I am pointing out right now and I'm bringing in into this training space a amplifying glass that is showing in a larger scale the image that I'm basically highlighting in the top left corner, if you can see. And what it's doing is basically installing the app, and when that circle is completed, that you see that circle comes to a close, that blue one that you saw that was progressively going on, when it goes to a complete stop, you see how there's no movement in the eye anymore. Well, that means that the application is already installed. But what also indicates that the application was installed is the fact that you see that on the top right of this presentation, you see that it says open. Remember how it said install previously? But if you look at it now, after that circle finished loading and closing, right, and processing, now it switched from install to open. At this point is when you realize that the installation of this application has installed successfully on your Android device. If you are an Apple, then you will be getting it through Apple, right? And going through your process of the App Store and downloading the correct application for your Gimbo device and all the other stuff, right? So in this case, this presentation I'm giving it to you in an Android device. With that being said, you can see that right now I'm basically just hovering over and explaining everything that's going on this installation, just like I just finished explaining to you. Okay, so as you see, I highlighted the open. Yes, at this point I just finished explaining everything to you. So let's go ahead and see what we move on to the next screen, which at this point you can see that we're going into what's called the user agreement privacy notice. Now, something that I express always is, why are you asking me if I agree or don't agree? If I don't agree, then I won't be able to do what I need to get done and use what I paid for. But right, so why are you giving me an option that should just go, oh yeah, oh, boop, boop, and click automatically and go right into it? Because you're not giving me an option to disagree or agree. I mean, you're giving me the option, but if I disagree, I'm not gonna be able to use the application, right? So obviously, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna click agree on this particular screen by touching the screen, right, in that area where it says agree. But isn't it ironic that it makes you feel like you have a choice, but you don't. You don't have a choice. So let's go ahead and move on. And now we see that after we have go ahead and install the application, and that we actually open the application, which opening the application only means that you're executing upon this application. You're actually, turning the key on a vehicle, letting it know that you want to turn it on to run somewhere, right? Or you're turning on the gas on the stove so that the flames can come out, right? So this is, consider the application in the same process. Now, what I want you to focus on this application, because again, people that don't have technology as a second, instrument, when they see all this information, they get lost because they go, well, what am I supposed to press here? Because there's so much information being given to you in one shot, right? It's going to distract you. And if you're not familiar with technology, it could put a little bit of fear. But don't be scared. See, you can't break your device unless you literally grab it and slam it on the floor and step on it and throw it from the window or something like that. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to understand is that technology is gonna behave right. Um, and it's not gonna break. I mean, it can disconfigure your phone and stuff, but then you can really configure it. So, I mean, don't be scared to use technology. Now, when we're scrolling from the bottom up, that you saw those arrows, right? There are several areas that we can actually begin to scroll up from the bottom up, right? Your finger, you're swiping up, right, from the bottom up. If you do it from the edge of the phone, right, which is all the way at the bottom, it's gonna give you the menu from the phone, right? So remember how important it is to know where you're going, to know where you're at, so that you can know where you're going. As long as you always make sure that you are in the correct menu and that you understand which menu you're in, you're always going to be able to see how easy it is to use your Android device, okay, or your iPhone device, because it's simple. You just got to make sure that you understand what menu you're in, because if you don't know where you're at, you can't plan a chart to where you're going. It's simple. So always see that. Now, how do we know that we are inside the application? The first thing is we're looking at the XC. We selected the version XC from all those squares that was distracting us. So because that's the version of the gimbal device that we have. Okay? Then the other versions that are there is because these people, they don't want to have to redesign everything and then give you one for each different gimbal. So they just made one application that fits all the gimbal devices, and it gives you the different tutorials for all the different versions of them. Okay, so those windows, all those big windows that we've been seeing, you can see are gonna lead just to a video like the one you're looking at right now in front of you. All right, so those are all videos, tutorial videos. They're gonna teach you certain aspects of your application, and that's all it is. So don't get distracted by it. You can actually forget that all those windows are there, right? All those little squares where it gives you the different versions of the smart gimbal device, right, from the smart family. And in the real section that you need to keep in mind is just the bottom section of everything. So when we look, you're gonna see that I'm gonna be highlighting that little section in the bottom of the screen in a little bit. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get there, but I'm just going ahead because I designed the video, so I know exactly what I'm talking about in this area. So let's go ahead and continue. So the area that I'm gonna highlight is the area of focus for you once you open this application. Now let's discuss it. On the left side of the bottom of your screen, you have a button that says home. This home button, this album button, the yellow button, the support button, and the meet button are all part of what? The application that you just activated. And how do you know that? Because when you look at the top of the screen, you see the header. The header is the logo of the application that you just finished installing. So that's how you know where you at. So now you know where you're heading, right? Because you're heading to use your camera, right, with your gimbal device, and you want to use the application because you want to be able to move your phone, right, through the automatic gimbal system that gives you automation, right? Automation to spin the phone, automation to have it straight, automation to have balance, so that your video is not jumping out up and down. Okay, all right. But we are very limited to what this particular gimbal can do, because again, this is the most affordable and cheap model of the Smart XE family, okay, or Smart family of gimbals. So that's the only limitation that we have, is a limitation that we actually purchased the less expensive one model, and because of that, there's going to be a lot of features that are not going to be activated here. So when you look at these videos that are inside the app that you're looking at, and you go, oh wow, that looks so beautiful. Oh wow, look what I can do with my gimbal, and you get all excited, right? Yeah, right. You're so excited because you can do all these pretty things, right, with your gimbal device. And then it turns out that you're trying to see how you do it, and you can't do it because the gimbal device that you have is the cheapest one in the whole market of the smart family, right? So that's the reason why you can't do everything that you're looking at in the video. But many of the stuff that you see on the video, like all the effects and things, you actually can do with your gimbal device because these effects are actually being made manually. The only thing is that it's being used automatically controlled so that the phone can spin and the camera can spin and give you that effect, so that the phone can tilt right up and down, so that it can also give you that camera effect. Okay, so when we go to albums on this application, right, and as you can see right now, I'm looking at the support section. The support section basically is gonna give you like tutorials, or it's probably gonna recommend other applications that you can also use, right, to enhance the user experience. All right, the person watching this video, you are the user that I'm talking about. All right, so the application is trying to give you, the user, the most remarkable experience that is possibly digitally being able to be created for you, so that you can feel comfortable with not only the purchase of the gimbal that you did, but with being able to access the software part of this installation of the gimbal device. So if we understand all that information when we're tapping around on our phone, then it becomes very easy to navigate our phone. See how nice that is? That's pretty cool, right? So if you know where you at, you definitely know where you're going, right? Because now you can plan where you're going. Remember that. That's so important. There we go. So when we know that we in that box at the bottom, we understand that we are in the menu, not of the application, because right now we outside in the menu of the App Store, right? Because we can see that, again, we see the blue button that says open, so that we can open the application. That means until we don't open the door and walk in through that door, that application is not active at this moment in time, okay? Because we are in the menu for the app stores, where we search for the applications that we want to use, where we can go get games, get books, and stuff like that. So that's what's important, to always know where you at, so that you know where you're going. Okay, so now we're in the menu, in the window, in the user, of your phone. So you outside in the main window now, where you can access the tools like settings, WhatsApp app, and all TikTok and stuff like that. Why? Because at this point you are on the menu of your phone, the area where your applications are at. So as long as we know where we at, what is it? Can you guys sing it with me? I know where I'm going. As long as I know where I am, I can plan a chart to where I'm going. So once you master that, okay, you're going to see that navigating through your cell phone is so simple as preparing a glass of water and drinking it. Isn't it awesome? I want to take this moment out to say, hey, shout out to Mr. Darrell Epps. Darrell Epps is the fan, my number one fan. He's been, actually my number two fan. My number two fan, he's been with me since the beginning of my journey with YouTube, as an influencer, as an educator, as a promoter. And Darrell is awesome. So Darrell actually purchased 2 gimbal devices, and he sent me one so that I can give him the whole tour around the assembly, the usage, and the connection of the application with this gimbal device. Darrell, thank you so much, buddy. I wish you would have got the Pro model or one a little bit more advanced. I tell you the truth. But hey, you can't look at a gift horse in the truth, right? Well, in Latinoamérica, we say no podemos ver el caballo, no le podemos ver los dientes del caballo. And what that basically means, people, is that we cannot look at a gift horse in the mouth, right, and then complain about that it has a bad tooth. When they gave us the whole horse, we should look at the value of the fact that we got the horse, and we could just take care of fixing the tooth of the horse so that the horse cannot have any pain, right? So now you see that we are in the setting section of this video. All right, we are in the setting. I will repeat that again. We are in the setting section of this video, and at this point, this part of the video is over, and I'm gonna bring you to another section of the video, which is gonna be like a portion that is important and it needs to be connected to this. And I understand that my videos are not 2 or 3 minute videos, but the reason why they're not 2 or 3 minute videos, people, is because by the time that you're finished watching anything that I'm teaching you, you will be able to teach it forward. But not only that, you will be able to understand it completely from the root. And when you understand something from the root, then you understand exactly where you're going. So in other words, you're not gonna need. You see, this is what mostly happens with people with the technology when they never were really friendly with it. Is that they get a nice phone, they pay $1,200 for a phone, they can do wonderful things, but then they use the phone as just a phone. Ring, ring. Hello, how you doing, Aunt Sylvia? Oh, I'm okay. I'm over here just with my phone in my pocket and on top of the table. Because they're scared to touch the buttons around, right? So I don't want you to be scared. I want you to understand that you have Juan Sabe Todo or John Knows It All, right? Because it's the same thing. Juan Sabe Todo, John Knows It All. I'm the same person at your corner. All you have to do is put me on speed dial. What do I mean by that? I mean, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, turn on the old notification, go into my community, right, inside my channel. Remember, know where you at so you understand where you're going. So if you're inside my channel, because you went in there, you're looking at the banner on the top of your of the header, and you're looking at the banner, and the banner has my face or whatever design I have there, you're inside my house. Once you're inside my house, then you can press on the community button and see what's happening in my community, and you can join that community. If you want to leave a comment on this video and you want to say, hey Juan, can you teach me how to do this with my Gimbo device? Or can you talk to me about this version? I'm looking at this version. Do you think that's going to be a great buy for me? And this is what I want to do with it. And you write out a message like that and you send it to me. I'm going to create a video for you that not only is going to educate you on the device that you are seeking out, but it's also going to tell you the truth. It's going to tell you, hey, you can go ahead and knock yourself out because you're going to be able to do the stuff that you want to do with the device you have chosen. So that's what's so important about being a part of this growing family. Okay, on this particular channel where I'm running this video, I know that I have only a handful of followers and only a handful of videos, like almost 100 videos. But on my main channel, I have almost 1,000 videos and I have thousands of followers. So I am not new to this. I just need to do so much work in so many different areas on the YouTube platform. Okay, but I'm here to stay. I have proven that by the intense amount of video library that I have created in social media and in this social network. And this is the future of TV, my people, my friends. Okay, so this part right here that you guys are seeing on right now on the screen It's the one of the most important part about using this application, because I already spoke to you about everything that had to do with the application. Now, what's important so that the application and the gimbal device can communicate with each other is that you go into your Bluetooth section and that you sync it. You see how right now on the area at the bottom it says Me Smart Brand number 5? Well, if that's the title that you're getting on your end, you want to go ahead and select that, because that's the only part there that says Smart and has anything related to the name Smart, right? So you can choose that, because that's probably going to be the one that you need to choose to link your gimbal device from Smart to your phone so that they can become one. And what do I mean by become one? What I mean is that they are going to be able to sync, and you're going to be able to press on the physical external buttons, right, that you would learn from video 1, and you're going to be able to manipulate your smart device without having to bring it out of the holster of the gimbal device, right? Or without having to do it on the screen of your phone by just pressing the buttons to take the pictures, right? To record, right? And on the other part, you're only gonna do the programming part. There, where you see pair, that's how you connect through the Bluetooth. You're gonna connect your phone. Once you have done that, go back into the same menu of the Bluetooth and make sure that the smart choice that you made to take the smart, right, the only one that came out at the bottom, and to connect it is now facing the connected section of the Bluetooth section of your phone. Because remember, we need to know where we at to understand where we're going. As you see, now the Me Smart Brand 5 has moved from the bottom of the menu of the Bluetooth, because now you're in the menu for the Bluetooth. Remember, know where you are so that you know where you're going. Come on, let's say it together, people. Know where you are, so know where I'm going. I can't go nowhere if I don't understand where I am. Oh yeah, people, let's do it together. I know where I am, so I can know where I'm going. Yeah. See, when you come to Masabelo Todo, you come to John Knows It, all right? You come to have a nice time with me. You come to learn, and I'm not going to rush you and try to get you to learn something that's impossible to teach in 3 minutes. It's not going to be possible. I'm sorry. The only way that you can get profound and understand the knowledge and wisdom of technology is if I take my time and teach you well. So by the time that you have been with me for a year or two, you can really say I'm an expert in the technology world. You can understand everything you're doing that's going to be part of your life in the future, because the technology is here to stay. Okay, so if you really want to learn, I suggest that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Go ahead, click on it. Do me a favor. That's a favor for me, you know. Is turn on the old notifications bell so that you can get notified when something new comes out, so you don't miss out on it. But besides doing those things, the biggest favor you can do with me is you can share me with your friends and family, you know, and say, hey, this guy really takes the time to teach you well, and I really understand everything he's taught me, because he took the time to break everything down into little tiny bites that make sense now for me. And sometimes I'll give you a lesson on one thing, like this app, the Gimbo, and this one lesson you can spread it across all your apps, right, that you have installed previously, because now you have that wisdom. And now you're gonna go back to that app. Oh, wait a minute! I know where I'm at. I know where I'm going. And you gotta start adjusting all that other stuff that you probably didn't pay any mind to because you were confused and you didn't want to mess up your phone. See, that's what I love about teaching. I love that light hits you on the back of the head, bing, and you go, "Oh my God, that's how simple it was." Yeah, that's how simple it was. But you was looking at the wrong videos. You was looking at the videos that you thought would teach you in 3 minutes what takes a lifetime to learn, and that's impossible. That's like you wishing that you hit the lotto and that wishing will make it come true. All right. The reality is, whatever's worth learning, it's worth not only learning it the right way and properly, but also it's worth taking the time to learn it so you can never forget it. So it becomes part of your life. So that you don't have to watch 1,001 3-second videos because you think that you can learn at the speed of the Flash, or Superman, or Wonder Woman. Okay, if you're a female. All right, this is reality. You want to learn? Come and visit my channel. Subscribe. Okay. So with that being said, also become a member of the channel. So, help me help you. Because if the channel has its own strength economically, then I can invest in better equipment. I can give you better quality videos. I can give you stuff that's amazing. That's gonna save you thousands, because of going out to experts and getting things done. And you're gonna learn how to do these things on your own, for real, like from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? So if you become a member, you will help support the channel, and I will be internally grateful, okay? Because it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. This video, I know that you're probably saying, "Oh wow, but this video is an hour and so long." But it took an hour and so long for me to create the video, in the sense that that's what you think. But this hour and something long video, in actuality, took me almost 14 hours to create for you. And that's work, So whatever you can do to help out will be awesome. You can give a one-time gift and stuff like that, and it will be very helpful. So here we're back on this menu of the Bluetooth, right? Wi-Fi, where we control the sound and everything. Okay, and basically what I'm trying to show you is that the better you learn where you at, the more efficient you're gonna be with everything. So you see how I'm pointing out right now the area that you open up so that you can actually see the applications that you are actually running. The ones that are active, they're in the background. And most people, when they give me their phone, I go, wait a minute, let me see something. And I click it, they got 200 applications running in the background. And then they're asking me, but why is it that my phone battery only lasts 10 minutes? Well, Tyrell, right? It's only gonna last 10 minutes, Tyrell, if you have 200 applications running. If you turn down all your lights in your house and you turn on all the TV sets and everything that's electronic inside your house, how can you expect to have a low bill, right? So the more you consume on the back end, okay, the faster your battery is gonna drain on your Android device. Okay, so let's make sure that we go into that section, right? The three little wiggly lines that are vertically there, or it could be a square in the iPhone, or it can be just that you need to double tap on your little circular icon, or if you're using an older model, the physical circular button. Twice you need to tap on it so that it can open up all your applications that are running in the background that you forgot to turn off, and then just swipe them up to turn them off so that your video can have a longer life. Now, when you're syncing the device to your Gimbo device, what's happening at this point in time is that you need to go right and tell the application and the phone, hey, phone, this is the application. Application, this is my phone. Phone, you can trust my application. Application, yes, you can trust my phone. So that you can get that sync. And that's what's happening right now with the permission settings, where I'm giving this app permission to interact with my camera, to interact with my audio, to interact with the data contained on my phone in that area that meets, pictures, recording, editing, and things that have to do with recording or using my camera to take pictures, okay? So you have to say that, and then you need to say, hey, every time that I'm using this application, right, Mr. Phone, I want you to let it do what it needs to do, because I don't want to have to go through this process of every time that I'm going to use the application, having to go step by step, approving and integrating, introducing you to, so that you guys already know each other. I made the presentation, right? So now we're friends. All of us are friends. So let's keep it that way. If it's us messing around in my phone, I'm okay with it. Follow? If it's us, right, and that's including your application and your phone, right, it's messing around with my phone, then we're all the same, because we're all friends here. We're not strangers to each other. So you want to make sure that you say always allow with this app. So when the app is running, then you want those features to be active, so that they don't interrupt the physical usage that you're going to have on this gimbal device every time that you press the button. Okay, so that is the family value, right, of your device, so that you can kind of understand what's going on. You need to tell your robot, which is your intelligent AI system in your phone, exactly how you like things done, because it's not going to create anything for you that you have not told it to create. You understand? Or given it the right to do. So that's the importance of this section here. It's so important that you give it the right, okay? That you give it the right commands, so that it can stay with those commands there and make your life easy whenever you're using this device. So this video is almost coming to an end now, and I want to say thank you for your time, okay? I am going to attach a menu section, the manual section of this phone, of this application and this gimbal device, at the back end of this video. So there's gonna be another 10-minute, 11-minute long video. Okay, thank you. Hello my friends, and how you guys doing today? Today this video is gonna be a how-to video and a review video about a gimbal that was sent to me by one of my fans on my other channel, JohnKnowsItAll, and they asked me to explain it to them so that they can go ahead and program and understand how to use their gimbal. So they actually bought two gimbals. They sent me one so that I can give them the training on it, and they kept the other one, so they're waiting for these videos that I'm creating with them, so that they can better use their gimbals. With that being said, I want to give a shout out to Darrell Epps. Darrell Epps, thank you so much for your gift, and I hope that my explanation teaches you how to better use your gimbal. And the first thing I need you to know, that I need everyone to know, is this gimbal is a Smart, okay, XE model, and that model is the most basic model within the family of the Smart family of gimbals. Okay, so let's begin. I want to begin here with this menu. I have another video that I created, which is the physical components of the gimbal itself, and in that video I'm gonna actually translate it, because I created the first version in Spanish. I'm going to translate that same video, since the recording is already done. I'm just going to do a voice over it, okay? It will be also together with this video, okay? With that being said, let's talk about this gimbal for a minute. Let's talk about what comes in the package. Even though I showed you in the other video, over here you get a plain view of what you're going to receive, okay? That's the stand. This is the manual. This is the gimbal. and this is the charging cable, and basically that's it. Let's go ahead and continue. And now over here we have some apps that you can download for tutorials and other accessories, the apps that you can use with your gimbal device. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to this part right here, where you get an explanation in detail about what all the stuff that you have available and what they call. So let's begin with the mobile phone clip. As you guys see, the pan axis, that's what they consider this part right here to be. The focus roller, which is this little roller right here. Okay, that's in the video. I'm going to tell you to be careful when you unfold the arm that you don't take this button off. Okay, zoom toggle, which is basically for you to be able to zoom in and out from your phone's camera system. Okay, and then over here we have the landscape, right, or portrait view, that when you're pan tilting this thing, depending on what setting you do in this section, in this area here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And on this one, we're seeing that it's giving us more information about what's in the back of it. So we have the roll axis at the back. We have the extension port 1/4. It tells you the diameter, so that you know which screw or which pole to buy if you want to extend its natural capacity, because this is only like about, I would say it's about 2 feet. 2 feet to, not 2 feet, I'm sorry, 2 to 3 inches, okay, tall. And then over here we have what's called the lanyard hold, and we have the fastened buckle for folding gimbal right here. So when you fold the gimbal, it'll buckle up onto this. This will be like a little hatch that the gimbal will connect to. The gimbal will connect to. And so let's go ahead and continue. Let's move on. Just to put the arm safe, so the arm is not just wiggling all around the area. Now this area right here is very important. Why? Because this is going to teach you the functionality of your gimbal, and I think that this is the major reason why my friend and follower, okay, because this person has been following me on YouTube since day one. Alright, so when somebody interacts with you as a content creator and influencer, that person becomes a family member basically. So and that's the type of relationships I like to build with my followers, okay, and with my subscribers, where they can ask me something and I'll actually help out. With that being said, let's go ahead and continue with this. So the first thing is that I want you to see is that this is gonna be the normal mode, and that is I'm gonna use a magnifying glass. Let me bring it so that you can see what I'm talking about. So you see that it has one little light there. In the video, I showed you about these lights, but I'm gonna make it more detail oriented here. Okay. So if you see there, the light number 1 means it's in normal mode, which only basically means is that the phone is on the gimbal is turned on, and the gimbal is ready to go ahead and go. And not only that, it's going to be on the default horizontal format. So the phone will be sideways facing you, okay, unless otherwise programmed by you. With that being said, then you have your second, which is the POV mode. This POV mode right there that you're seeing is the one that's going to allow you to vertically put your phone from horizontal to vertical, which you see in the video when I'm teaching you guys. And that's for you TikTokers and Instagram and WhatsApp shorts, you know what I'm saying? You guys have dealt with that portion of this situation, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. One of the questions that Darrell had for me was, my gimbal doesn't follow me. How do I make it follow me? And this is one of the major reasons why he sent me a set, so that I can go ahead and investigate the reason. And Darrell I am so sorry to tell you that the reason why your gimbal doesn't twist and turn and follows you is because this gimbal does not do that. The gimbal that does that is a higher end gimbal on this family, and you got the less expensive one that doesn't offer that type of technology for you. Now, if it did offer it, then you will have a third lighting system, which is this one, the Go mode. If you have Go mode here on your cell, on your front panel of your gimbal, if you have that there, then that means that the gimbal you have, not only is it different from the one you sent me, but also that the gimbal that you have can do the panning, which is what's called when something digital moves on its own. Okay, and unfortunately, I can't teach you something that I don't have access to on this point. Okay, so sorry for that, guys, but I want you guys to know that there is a version of this smart gimbal that does follow you everywhere you are, so you can put it on a tripod and then just walk around and film yourself, and the thing would just follow you around the entire place. So you're going running, playing ball, whatever, the thing will follow you. Okay, so that's pretty cool and decent. Okay, so with that being said, I already showed you those portions of it. In the video, you guys hear how is it that you activate these modes, so there's no need for me to explain it here. Okay, I don't want to be repeating myself. Over here it gives you more details, and this manual that you see here is internally installed on the application, so you can actually access it by going into your application and going to the area where you can access your manual. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about the application and the installation process. Okay, so I already have it installed on this phone, but in the Spanish video it was not installed, and I went through the process of installing it. That's the reason why I have chosen to go ahead and just do a voiceover on the Spanish application and process and tutorial that I did, because I know I don't have any more phones that I can put the application on, because I already have pulled it on all of them, all the ones that I have. So that one is better suited to show you the whole process from A to B. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and transfer you over to the other videos on this group of videos that are going to be all together merged to create one super video for you guys. Remember to subscribe, to like, okay, so we can have our own place, and hopefully, you know, enjoy and learn about our gimbal. The device is pretty cool. It's stable. It has an incredible feature that I love, and that is that you can actually do this movement with the actual gimbal that allows you to kind of do like a video effect that otherwise you will have to use editing software to create those effects, and they wouldn't look as great as the natural effect coming from this device, which is awesome. With that being said, that will be a lesson for another day, because between the two videos that I got attached to this one and this one that I just finished doing, people, this is gonna be a video for over an hour long. And again, I try to make them short. I like to teach fully. I like you to learn and become independent, so that you can use your technology instead of just paying $1,000 for a cell phone that you are using as a cell phone and nothing more. Instead, you have access to a powerful AI system, computer system, smart system in your pocket, and I want you to learn how to be able to access all those features that you're paying for every 2 years or every 18 months or every 12 months, whatever it is, to renew a contract. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, so other people can find it as well. With that being said, people, I love you all, and thank you for coming by John Knows It All or Juan Sabe Todo, wherever you have seen this video, or one of my other channels on YouTube. And you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Toto's the place to be. Deep dives, quick tips, saving you time. No paid fluff, just the real prime. Authentic or bold, with a clever twist. Everything you need, nothing gets missed. For the curious minds, for the seekers too.